Something happened to me, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Jennifer, this show is absolutely phenomenal, and you are fantastic in it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
You get to play a lot of different versions of Daniela in this. How did you approach the different roles?
There's some of them totally honestly, quite superficially, because you literally only get a glimpse of her. And so it was important for the story, like sometimes to look quite similar to our original Daniela, or sometimes to be quite noticeably the wrong one as he's looking for his homeworld. So sometimes it was as simple as that. And then sometimes, there's the second Daniela that we meet, we spend more time with. And so that was, more a function of, those choices were more a function of the differences in her life and the choices that she had made and how that might impact someone with certain, base characteristics that she had in common, but who had sort of moved in a different way in her life.
And then one of the things I love about this is we have so many multiverse stories now with all the superhero stuff and everything everywhere all at once, but this feels so grounded in like a human story. How do you think it stands out from kind of the other projects within this subgenre that's popped up?
I think in the way exactly that you mentioned. I think that it's a portrait of a marriage, and it explores like this couple and, this man who is having some doubts and some regrets and insecurities about his work. And he's sort of like sifting through these domestic issues in this really spectacular landscape of these alternate realities. And I thought that was a really smart use of that kind of a story. That kind of device, if you will, of an alternate reality show.
I completely agree. And how did working with Blake, who created this story, help you step into the world of dark matter?
Well, he was there all the time. I mean, we had the book, obviously, to work from, and he was sort of our wrote so many of the scripts, and he was on set every day, and he was involved in everything, in all of the choices that we make. He was in on our rehearsals. He was, in our wardrobe and hair, like all of those decisions we really made together. And it was great. It was great having the writer and creator there with us every day.
And then can you talk to me a little bit about working with Joel to play off the different versions of Jason? He's
a great actor, and I had been really looking forward to working with him. It was really interesting what he did. He made subtle choices. There were subtle differences in his mannerisms and his behavior and the way that he would respond to things as the different Jasons. And it was a great experience working with him. He's lovely, such a nice person, and so easy to work with. And but like I said, just so talented that it was really a joy.
And then one of the things I thought he did that was very nuanced was Jason 2 never fully came off as a villain. Mm-hmm. How do you think Daniela kind of feels about seeing kind of how their life could have been?
I think he gets kind of villainous at the end. But yes, he's not arch, he's not playing an idea of a bad guy, so I think it's really interesting. He made really, I really love the choices that he made, and I think it was an interesting idea that this woman is confronted by this man who looks and sounds like her husband, but a kind of different sort of like maybe it feels like something's happened, like what, because he does feel a little different, it's like he's acting strangely, but she's trying to solve the mystery of why he's acting strangely. And at first she kind of likes it. At first she's like, okay, this is kind of nice. He's paying a lot more attention to me and he's taking me out, whatever. It's kind of the way it was at the beginning of our relationship. And I thought that was really fun, that kind of like the suspense chapter of it where it's sort of building this, it sort of starts turning into, it's confusion and then it starts turning into kind of dread. as she starts to feel more and more that something's wrong.
And then I have to ask, because I loved Top Gun Maverick. Have you heard anything about the next movie?
I haven't heard anything specific or concrete. I heard a rumor that there's will to make another one, but I don't have anything definitive to share.
I hope we see you in it. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. Like I said, this series is absolutely phenomenal. You are fantastic in it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I need to use the box to get home.
The world you're looking for is a grain of sand on an infinite beach.